Hi guys, it's me Chip. Today I'm gonna do a painting tutorial and answer your questions. I will do the tutorial first so you guys can get the thing. So, first step of a coloring tutorial, you have to have vision, right? For what you're gonna draw. You don't have to know it. You don't have to know it perfectly. I asked another question, and I think people already decided what they want. They decided handsome Squidward. Yay! So, today we're gonna start a new handsome Squidward together. It looks awful. So, the first step of the thing is just sketching. Leave me a novel in the comments. I want the longest comments on the earth so I can read them as a fan fiction. Leave me a fan fiction between me and Squidward so I can enjoy. This is art. This is perfect. Yes, we got this. Second step, right? Photoshop is a scam. You heard me right. Photoshop is a scam, and I will explain the reason right now. Do you see this? Do you see this beautiful thing? So this is called HSV and this is called HSL. See, I can spell. So these are color wheel models. Photoshop uses this one, and Clip Studio Paint uses this one, and you can also switch it on Clip Studio Paint. But this one is bad. I don't like this one because on this one, as you can see, this has 3 points, and 3 points is enough on a color wheel. When you have 4 points, look, this point stands for light, this point stands for dark, and this point stands for saturation. So when you are on here, as you can see, this point stands for light, dark and dark, saturation, and that's stupid. And when you need to scroll, like when you are picking colors, you just need to scroll through like light to saturation to gray. You need to scroll like this. Who can scroll like this? That's confusing. You need to scroll like this. In this, if you want to go to gray to saturated, you need to scroll straight like a normal being. But on this one, it's bullshit. Look at this. This is dumb. This is very bad. Like, Photoshop is not designed for drawing. Photoshop is designed for photoshopping. I know, I'm genius, right? I'm just saying, like, you need to, at least knowing this, that you need to scroll through like this on the picking, that will help you too. But I will recommend this one, right? Like this one, way better. Go with this one. Since we figured out how to pick colors on this thing, now we can go to third step. Yeah, that was the second step. I know that was short and easy. And if you are confused about the second step, I will leave a video down below. Okay, step 3, monochrome. This is the most important step to follow this one. This is like, I get most of the questions like, how do you start? This is important. When you are laying down the flats, you need to start with grays, shades of the same color. In here I started with some grays and greens, and everything should be very muted. Everything should be monochrome. And some people start with black and white and then color it, but I think just starting from less saturated, muted colors is good enough. You should always start with no saturation, always. And the next point is step 4. I know this one was fast. Step 4, Don't be an idiot sandwich. What is being an idiot sandwich? Let me explain. If you're an idiot sandwich, you will, like, when I tell you green, you will just put green, which is wrong. That's not how you paint. When I tell you green, you should always think green means yellow and blue. If you mix yellow and blue, you get green, right? See? Do you see what I mean? You never put green when I tell you green. That's wrong. That's not how you paint. So the second thing you do, you just go to here and find a beautiful greenish yellowish color. So it's not that hard if you think like this. If you go with not saturated colors, if you go with like what that color is made out of. See, let's break down one of my paintings I did recently. So you see this, as you can see, there's orange, like a very bright orange, there's blue, and there's purples and brown. Even though there is these colors, this was how I started. I will show you now. This is the first version. As you can see, everything is green because I started from monochrome. I started from adding the base colors. I started from not going crazy. But then I added blue, orange, like all kinds of crazy colors, because this is how you start. You start from this monochrome to this. Even I tell you green, if you just put up green right there, then you're an idiot sandwich. I'm serious. You shouldn't do that. You can't put red right after this, after you put green, because these colors, since it's gray, blue and green, it will look very red, because we understand colors by comparing. Hope that makes sense. I'm adding more and more colors, but it doesn't look crazy. And let's go back to my inspiration, a jewelry. So I just pick colors from here, and I pick a brush that is not painting crazy much, like it's very opaque. And at this level, after I put some colors, I try to decide where the light comes from. Hell yeah, beautiful. With jewelry. Oh my god, it looks crazy. Oh my god, this looks crazy. Now it's time to answer the questions, I guess. First, I will start with Twitter. Creator Autonomy Neogenki says, teach us how to color. Okay, I already did it. I can't talk. I already did that in the first half of the video. So let's go to Odin. How do you color and paint? Asking for signs. Okay, Odin, I already did that. Not this question too. How do you choose your colors? They're always so interesting and vivid. So the point is, when you have, like as I showed you, when you have a monochrome canvas in front of you, whatever the bright color you put on that canvas, it just turns into a very bright, vivid, it just pops up when you put the bright color on gray. So I just start with gray and build my way up to the colors. What's process when you start having trouble with painting and part of the painting? I just usually stop painting and come back a few days later, even though I don't know what to do. Like sometimes even after 3 days I still don't know what to do. I just try to finish it, force myself to finish perm. I know it's not pleasant, but sometimes you just have to force yourself to paint. Like Ella favorite brushes to use. I do not have favorite brushes to use, but I can show you what brushes I use on Clip Studio Paint. So for painting you need one soft brush. I usually choose a soft brush like this. For edges of the things I use this brush because it kind of blends but also not. For line art I use mapping pen on Clip Studio line art, and it's just like a basic brush, doesn't have anything to it. And for sketches I just use a rough pencil. This is a default brush, these are all default brushes in Clip Studio. So sketch I use this soft fuzzy brush, and this is all I use basically. So the next question is from Lexi. Tell all about you how you shade and your lighting. So since shading and lighting is confusing, what I do is always when I'm confused and I don't know what to do, I just go here, multiply, and add like this, another layer to the bright, so I always know where the light comes from. How do you decide your color schemes? So this is the one of the, I do not decide my color schemes. What I do is I start with bunch of monochrome colors like this, and then I add bright colors on top of it so it starts to look better. How do you regulate your brushwork when coloring colors away from getting muddy? I actually don't know how to go to the muddy zone, because even in my old art I don't think I ever, because muddy is good, muddy is okay, Seb. If you start muddy, that's good, that's not a problem. But if you finish muddy, that's a problem. That means you mix too much. If you mix everything to each other, it just turns into brown. So let's say this is the art, right? And we need to add shadows to this thing. There is nothing muddy right now, I'm guessing. You guys agree with me? Hopefully. And then if you just add it again, multiply, and again in a layer, and just I will recommend when you're doing this technique, just choose a soft brush so it can look more like a light. Yeah, good. And then see, it looks like some kind of light. I know it's not perfect, but you can improve this, because I did this in 10 seconds and you can do better. And just create another layer, make it overlay, and start painting. See, this looks like a light and there's nothing muddy about this, and this just works. You don't have to do crazy renderings at first if you are confused about painting, because I did not start with that. I did not start with painting everything I can find. I just start with simple stuff like this, and I just try to keep pushing the rendering more and more and more, and I ended up being able to render. And see, this is not muddy, I think. And if you think this is muddy, you can always take the color, pick the color from whatever is there, and then you can start painting. This looks good. Okay, hope this answered your question. Okay, so these were all the Twitter questions. Let's go to the Instagram ones. Question comes from Laura Riedrouse. What program do you use for digital drawing? I actually covered that very well. Photoshop is a scam. Use Clip Studio or Paint Tool, or even other programs like Krita is better. How did you learn to use colors so well? Who's that weirdo asks. That's a funny name. Like now people gonna think I insulted you, but that's your actual. Okay, how do you learn to use colors? So how did you? I studied other artists' art for a very long time. I'm studying every single month. I choose one artist and I obsess over them. But you shouldn't overdo that or your confidence can go down. The question. Peonia. Peonyu. Peonyo. Okay. How do you get inspired? I feel like I can't think of the things you do. That's an interesting question. I don't know how do I get inspired. I usually go around, look at other artists, and be like, whoa, I want to do that. It's just 80-90% of my inspiration comes from other artists. Definitely not from real life. Hopefully. How do you choose the colors that go into the shading of your painting? Nice. I don't choose colors. Again, I just start with monochrome and try to put in the colors and try to figure out what fits and what not, and I just take the colors back that doesn't fit, or I sometimes start over when the colors do not match, and it's just a trial and error because there is no such a thing as a right guide of colors. Thing is, you need to try. You don't choose color. Yes. Hope this is helpful. Am I sounding like I'm talking over people? Hope not. The other color. How do you make everything look so painted and pretty? I mean, oh, always. Thank you, Smiley. And the thing is, I just render and suffer, I guess. It's just very hard to render everything, and I sometimes don't like it. And so my answer to that is I just sit down and render, and it's kind of painful, but I guess I want my art to look very professional, and I stutter too much. Hope it wasn't painful. Honey badger bee, could you do a tutorial on how do you use those, please? I did. Okay, good. I like the way you shade and the way you draw hair. Oh no, I did not do that. I will do a tutorial for you on how I draw hair. I'm sorry I didn't do it in this one. I will do that one for you. Salty jelly. How do you color? Yes, this is the question I got the most. I hope the first part of this video, the tutorial part, helped you. How do you do art so fast? I don't think I do art fast. I have nothing else to do in life. My only hobby is eating and drawing, so this is all I do. So if you think that I draw fast, I actually don't. This is all the questions. Yes, this is all, and thank you. So disclaimer, I'm not claiming to be this is the right way to draw or paint, and there's always other ways to paint. If this style doesn't fit you, please keep trying to find other styles. If this doesn't fit you, you can always look for other stuff. Thank you.
6.5 hours later.